On today's episode of ATF, After the Feelings. And today, we're asking a question nobody really talks about. What happens after the butterflies? Because everyone talks about the beginning. When she first met him, everything felt easy. They could talk for hours and somehow still have something to say. He'd text her good morning. She'd wait for his good night. They had inside jokes nobody else understood. Sometimes they'd stay on the phone until one of them fell asleep. She loved how excited she felt whenever she saw his name. And he loved knowing that someone was thinking about him. They weren't trying too hard. They were just happy. At least that's what it felt like. For a while, every day felt like the beginning of something beautiful. She thought, maybe this is it. Maybe this was the person she'd been waiting for. Maybe the feeling would always be this strong. Maybe love was supposed to feel like this. And for a while, it did. But nobody warned her about what comes next. Slowly, things changed. Not all at once. That's what made it difficult to notice. His good morning texts became less frequent. Their conversations became shorter. The calls that used to last for hours became 20 minutes. Then 10. Then sometimes, nothing. At first, she told herself, he's probably busy, and maybe he was. Then she thought, maybe I'm overthinking. So she stopped asking questions. She didn't want to seem needy. She didn't want to ruin what they had. She just wanted things to feel like they used to. One night, she looked at their old messages. She scrolled through everything. The jokes, the compliments, the long paragraphs, the messages that once made her smile. And she realized something. She wasn't looking at the messages because she missed him. She was looking at them because she missed how she felt back then. And that realization hurt. Because maybe the butterflies weren't gone because something terrible had happened. Maybe they were simply changing. She finally asked him, do you still feel the same way about me? He didn't answer immediately. That silence said more than she wanted it to. Finally, he said, I don't know. She looked down. Not angry, not crying, just quiet. Because sometimes the hardest thing to accept isn't that someone stopped loving you. It's realizing that the feeling you were both chasing may have simply changed. For a few days, she wondered if something was wrong with them. Maybe love wasn't supposed to feel quiet. Maybe if the butterflies disappeared, it meant the relationship was ending. But then she started thinking differently. Maybe butterflies were never meant to stay forever. Maybe they're only there to introduce you to someone, to make you curious, to make you take a chance, to make you open your heart. But love has to become something deeper, something quieter. Something that doesn't always feel exciting, but still feels safe, still feels honest, still feels like choosing each other. So they had a conversation, not a dramatic one, no shouting, no blaming, just honesty. They admitted that things had changed. They admitted that the excitement wasn't the same. But they also asked a more important question. Do we still want to choose each other? And for the first time, they weren't trying to bring back the butterflies. They were trying to understand what could come after them. Because maybe that's what nobody tells you about love. The butterflies are beautiful, but they're not the whole story. Sometimes love starts with excitement and continues with effort. Sometimes it starts with sleepless nights and becomes peaceful mornings. Sometimes the loudest feelings become the quietest kind of love. And sometimes the butterflies disappear because the relationship is ending. And that's okay too. Not every feeling is meant to last forever. Some feelings come to teach us, some come to change us, and some come to stay. So, what happens after the butterflies? Maybe you find out whether what you had was just a feeling or something deeper, because the beginning of love can be exciting. But what comes after? That's where the real story begins. This is ATF, After the Feelings. And I'll see you in the next story. What happens after the feeling?